Yeah, my baby.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a look at some more of the wild duck stuff. 'Cause it's awesome.
Okay. All right then.
You okay?
That's
good.
Yeah. Beginning. I'm just doing YouTube stuff. I will be 1 minute, guys, and then we will have a butchers at the next section. Save. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. Right, let's do it. Yeah, well, let's do this. Are you coming through? Yeah, let me have a quick check. You are. There you go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Tempted to see one going live. I can only be described as a Tuesday. This is me continuing my educational course to better myself. We are doing the Blue Prism Associate Developers course, which you can see we are still on the top. We need to do these ones an hour and 30 minutes, 15 an hour, an hour. So we still have some more to do. I want to get actually my plan is to go to the content down here. We're going to work through work queues, additional information. Before I do the consolidation exercise, which is basically kind of putting all this stuff up here that we've learned into practice, what I might do then is go back to over here and then do these, because if we're going to get advanced data types and advanced attribute matching and stuff like that, I genuinely think we may be able to use some of that within our consolidation exercise, credentials manager. So if I can just build it as, you know, the knowledge that I have received within here as well, that I think is a better way of, rather than writing something to go and re-edit it, that's just going to do my Sweden, and I don't know whether I'm going to like that. So work queues, this was my downfall. And the reason why I didn't do the consolidation exercise, so I am at 139, 140, so I have, in theory, completed it. But I haven't, because I didn't complete the consolidation exercise. It thinks I did, but I didn't, and I know I didn't. So without further ado, let's go to work queues. We need to kind of get this right, absorb this knowledge.
Section 9.
And then we should be able to go from there. So let's just do that. I'm going to turn it up for you guys. Let's open it up.
In Section 9, you will learn about Blue Prism work queues. A Blue Prism process is designed to perform a repetitive task, and the jobs or items that the process must work through are supplied by an external source, which may be in the form of a list. In practice, most of the items in this list will be processed without issue, but some items may encounter a problem that prevents them from processing to completion.
The unhappy path.
Whether items are completed or flagged as exceptions, the results of the processing must be recorded for the purpose of robust auditing.
I like that because that's given you, so even though it's in a queue, so the best way to describe it is if you have a list of files to download, okay, and you built the RPA. So what you do is you build the RPA that goes and downloads and goes in a big loop to download. And then what it does is it goes across here, picks up the name of the file to download, goes, downloads it, marks that as complete, goes and grabs the next one, and then either ticks it off or marks it as an exception. I like that.
Working directly from the source of the list does not enable a thorough level of monitoring, which is why it's always best to use a Blue Prism work queue, as this enables the process to compile the items into a queue, which has the built-in functionality to record the results of the processing and to store, manage, share and report on the items being worked.
Damn, that's kind of
A
fun.
work queue is essentially a list of items which is populated and then worked by a process.
Exclamation mark. How you doing, Ryan? I'm Matt, still recovering from influenza that I have on top of pneumonia. A bit touch and go for a while. Damn, Ryan. Yeah, welcome to my world, dude. I won't do one either. I've got kind of water here and a cup of tea and trying to get rid of mine. I don't know how you feel. I mean, not as bad as having pneumonia and stuff, but welcome to my day job, sir. Welcome to my day job. This is me educating myself.
Can then be configured to enable a process to manage its own workload.
Okay.
Should a process encounter a problem whilst working an item within a queue, then this item can be tagged with information about the problem, which is then stored in the work queue, ready to assist with a manual review. If there are too many items for one Blue Prism process to get through in the allocated time,
I like this.
then it is possible to run the same process on multiple digital workers to share out the workload. Multiple digital workers can request items from the same work queue at the same time, with each receiving different items from the work queue to process.
Nice. So basically, one RPA can run, as long as you import the queue, it'll just pass over the items to run. I like it. Very nice indeed. Right, working items. Here we go. On to the next one. 9 minutes long, this bad boy. So she is a bit of a. So I'm guessing this is where we start our exercises. Actually, it probably really helps if I open Blue Prism. You know, where are we? Admin, and I think it's that. Let's see. No. Oh, okay. Let's try that one. There we go. We're back in. We're back in, baby. Right, let's go back and let's go to the studio. There we go. So we're good. We're good. We're back in Blue Prism. Let's see what's going on in the world. Are you feeling? Are you on the mend now, though, Ryan? Yeah. Here we go.
Blue Prism comes with some business objects that are pre-installed within the software. These internal business objects are not diagrams and cannot be viewed or changed, only used in the process through an action stage.
Okay.
One such example of this is the internal business objects, work queues business object, which serves to provide a connection between a process and a work queue. enabling the process to store data extracted from external sources within a work queue to be managed and worked within Blue Prism. The Get Next Item action within the work queue's business object collects the first pending item in the queue to be worked by the process. When an item is added to a work queue, it is assigned a unique ID, known as a globally unique identifier,
Nice.
or a GUID. This ID consists of a series of characters and numbers and is stored within a process data item when the queue item is brought into the process. The source data associated with the item is stored within a collection stage. From within Control Room, work queues use different icons to communicate the state of each item within the queue. An unworked or pending item is marked with 3 blue dots. An item that is currently being worked by a process will be locked, so is marked with a padlock. An item that has been worked and completed successfully is marked with a green check. And an item that has encountered an error is an exception and is marked with a purple flag.
Again, that there
In
forms
this
part
next
of your test as well, so make sure you know
You'll
those.
create a process that uses the work queue's business object to get, store, and work items from Q1.
So this is where I kind of got confused last time.
We'll
So
also look at how items are stored and recorded within the work queue's area of Control Room. For this activity, you will be working in the Process Studio and Work Queues areas of Blue Prism. First, you'll create a process.
where's the work queue? Right, let's create process. Work queue item processing. Right, okay, so let's do that. So let's create a new process. Work. Is it QUE? I think isn't like that. Q, isn't it? Let's see what it is on the video. Let's just kind of bring it down over some. Oh, you can't see. You just can't see it, can you? That sucks. QUE item processing. Item. Is it processing? Next, work queue item processing. So we'll do, yeah, because I think what we're going to do now is we're going to build a queue, and then this also then forms part of your test. So we need to get this, we need to build this queue right, because what we'll do is we'll then call this. So let's open this up, because that's what we're going to have to do. There we go.
And add a new action stage that uses the internal business object. Open that.
So you're running on main page. I don't like necessarily running on main pages. Right, let's see what she does there. So action stage.
And from the business objects drop-down menu, select internal business objects, work queues.
Okay, so we can definitely do that. Action stage. So let's drag and drop our action stage in here, bring it in here, open it up, and then business objects. action stage. Oh, hang on. Where's the internal? Oh, there you go. Internal work queues. There we go. And then what was it? Nope, we had it. Work queues. There we go. Oh, there's add to queue. Nice. Okay. Oh, so there's an input somewhere, there's an output, and a condition. Okay. So outputs 2, and then okay. Let's see what else it comes up with now.
Select Get Next Item from the Actions drop-down menu. For the queue name input parameter value.
Oh, hang on, I missed something there.
And add a new
Hang on, we're not getting ahead of ourselves here.
The internal business object. Open the action properties. And from the business objects drop-down menu, select internal business objects, work queues.
Yep.
Select Get Next Item from the Actions drop-down menu.
Okay, so let's plumb that in to ours. So action stations is the work queue. Look at this copy. Damn. Get pet. What the f? I mean, you can see the power of this thing, can't you? Damn. Get next item. Okay, there you go. I mean, I like the fact that it tells you there work queues, get next item. I like the fact that it tells you what that's doing. Let's click OK on that.
For the queue name input parameter value, enter Q1. Select the Outputs tab.
Hang on, UE1. Let's put get next item. So let's mimic what they're doing, because if we don't, we're going to fall over. Because this is where I fell over last time. So let's get over here. I mean, I like the fact that this is doing what it says on the tin, but I'm going to change that to get next item, please. And then, what was it? Inputs there. Queue name is, what did she say? Q1. QUEUE1. And then she put it in quotes. Is that what they did? Well, let's double check.
For the queue name input parameter value, enter Q1. Select the Outputs tab.
So queue name was queue name. Like I said, I'm going to take my time. I want to make sure I get this right. I'm not in any particular rush, so I apologise if it's not the best thing. So Q1 is Q1. We have that. Outputs tab. Let's see what we want to do with this.
The auto-generate icons in the store in column to create a data item for the item ID and a collection stage for the item data.
A what, sorry? Okay. So outputs was text ID is item ID, and then was it data? And data was data. Item ID and data. Is that what you just did? Let's go back ever so slightly.
For the item ID,
Yep.
And a collection stage for the item data.
Yeah. So we have definitely mimicked that. Data, item ID and that. So let's click OK on that then. So in theory now we should have two. So there is the get next item. So my get next item is there's the empty data and the item ID that it's working through. And that's all being fed from that. So what that does is when it gets the next item, it gets the next item's ID, and the so the input is Q1. So Q1 sends the information and then it outputs the specific item from Q1 into item ID and data. So item ID and data, okay. Just playing it through in my mind so I understand how that's working.
Add a breakpoint to the end stage.
Add a breakpoint to the end stage. I'm guessing we're going to link this up then, so let's just do that and do that. No storing mapping set for output, no storing mapping, blank value, blank value. Okay, so that's fine. So at least there's errors, but we're probably going to work through those in a sec. Yeah, so that's showing errors
So
as
you
well.
can observe the state of the data item and collection stages while the process is still live. Save and run the process. Close the breakpoint message window and look at the data item and collect.
Okay, so that should work then in theory. So we have done that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's reset that. And it did say save, didn't it? Save. Setting up first queue. Save. Play. Row 1, and there's the okay. So we've got the other way around. That's fine. Breakpoint, sweet. So we're good. We're matching. We're doing what it says on the tin.
Collection properties.
Yeah.
To see their current values,
Yeah.
which should now reflect the values passed down to them from the work queue.
Okay.
Now, you'll observe how items appear in the work queue's area of control room once the process has requested and locked an item. Switch to the control room area of Blue Prism.
Can I just do that, or I can? Bargain. Control room, I can. Queue manager. I'm guessing it's going to be. There you go. Q1. It's going to be here, isn't it? There you go. It's locked. Look at that. Look at that. God dang it. Status is running. Pending 5. Look. Yeah, that's sexy. Oh yeah.
And navigate to Q1 in the Queue Management tab. This is the operational user interface for work queues and is divided into 2 areas. A list of queues is shown in the upper half, and the lower half shows a list of the items in a selected queue.
Nice.
Refresh the interface and notice how the first item in the queue is currently locked.
Yep, we've got that.
It is important to note.
Let's just double check that we have that. I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Dang it. Blue Prism. Yeah, it does say locked, but we'll refresh anyway, because, you know, just the way it goes. Yeah, refresh. There we go. Sweet.
That while an item is locked, it cannot be worked by another process.
Okay.
Next, you'll update your process so that the details of the completed item can be recorded in the work queue's area of control room.
That makes sense.
Return to your process diagram and add another action stage before the end stage. In the action properties,
Look at that.
select the Mark Completed action in the work queue's business object. Use the item ID data item for the input value.
Damn, that's clever. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, action stage. Drag and drop that bad boy. Oh, hang on. Let's drop you, let's take you off there. Smush. Let's delete the link between that and that. throw in the other action stage, get next item. So we now need to do the internal work queues, and we are marking an item as completed, done, and then we are using the item ID there as an input. Oh God, that's nice.
And remove the breakpoint from the end stage. Then right-click on the Mark Completed action and select Set Next Stage. Run the process.
So let's do that. Let's do what it's asking us to do. Sweet. So that is completed there, so that's fine. And then I need to link it, obviously. Link and link over to the pointer, get rid of the breakpoint, and then right click, run to this stage, set next stage, and play. Damn.
Return to the work queue and refresh the interface.
So return to the work queue and refresh the interface. Sweet. Return to the work queue, refresh. Oh, look at that. Mwah. Nice. That's just nice. So my question is how do I bring in the source of a queue? Right, getting ahead of myself. I can see so many useful things to do with that.
The item should have been stored and marked as completed. Finally, you'll update your process to see how an item that has encountered a problem and has not worked through to completion is recorded in the work queues area of control room. In your process, change the Mark Complete action to the Mark Exception action. Enter a value for exception reason and enter false for the retry value.
Exception reason. So change that to mark exception. Was that it was? I think. So let's try and get to that. So mark complete. Let's change that to mark exception. Exception reason. Testing. Retry. False.
Reset and run the process.
Oh, okay. Hang on. So reset and run the process. Reset and run the process. See, this is going to build round, isn't it? Because you need to loop this, don't you? So it's basically, so it says get next. So when it's completed here, you're going to go around. So basically, you're going to have an item count somewhere. You've got to have an item count to see how many's in the queue until it works through the queue, and you're going to have to loop that round.
Then check the work queue again and look for your exception.
So right, let's do that. Well, let's mimic that. Back into my source over here. Let's refresh this puppy. Yeah, there she is. Exception is testing on the tags. Nice. I like it. Picasso. We're building a monster.
Reason.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, what? Don't end me there. Why are you ending me there? No! No! God damn it, that's dirty. You can't end me there. No, you tease. Dang it. I am going to put back though. Let me just. I really want to put back what that is. So markers complete here. I really want to put as so markers complete. I want to put that back as mark completed, as item ID. Yes, please. There we go. I just want to do that rather than have the exception in at the moment. No, thank you. Right, let's start the next one.
A work queue is populated with items through a blue Prism process, ready to be worked by the same process or by other processes. In the previous activity, you used a collection stage to store item data output from the work queue, though a collection stage can also be used to store data to input to the work queue. To achieve this, there are actions within the work queue's business object which facilitate the transfer of data from the collection stage into the work queue as queue items.
Nice. This is what I want. This is the section that I need to learn.
To ensure a process
Basically, taking an item to generate a work queue.
is able to work all of the items within a queue, the process must include a circular path. To return the flow back up to the Get Next Item action stage. Once all of the items have been worked and marked as either completed or as exception, and once the Get Next Item stage returns an empty ID, then the process will flow towards the end stage.
That makes sense.
An empty item ID indicates that there are no more pending items in the work queue due to be worked. In this next activity, you will populate the rows of a collection stage with initial values and use an action to push each row of the collection into the work queue as individual work queue items.
Nice.
You will then build a decision stage and a circular path into your process to work all of the items within the work queue and determine when it has finished.
God, that sounds like a lot. Jesus.
For this activity, you'll be working in Process Studio. First, you'll populate the rows of a collection stage with initial value.
I missed that. My phone was ringing. Damn it.
The rows of a collection action to push each row of the collection into the work queue as individual work queue items.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do.
You will then build a decision stage and a circular path into your process to work all of the items within the work queue and determine when it has finished.
Yep.
For this activity, you'll be working in Process Studio. First, you'll populate the rows of a collection stage with initial values and use an action to push each row of the collection into the work queue as an item. Create a new process.
Oh, okay. Oh, work queue. Oh, I like it. Work queue item generation. See, that's interesting. That's put as a process rather than an object. I like it though. Work queue item generation. So it looks like I'm going to save this then. basic work queue function. I'm going to save and close that. And then, was it work queue item generation, I think? Yes. Back to studio, process, create a process, work queue item generation. See, this is where you start getting into the realms of building your test. Let me click back there, work queue item generation, copy that, click next, just whack that in there just so it's got a, yep. See, I would almost have kind of this, a generation and processing as like a 1 or a 2, and then you just call that page. We'll see, I don't know, perhaps it's just me being daft.
Add a collection stage. And add 2 fields named account ID and note text.
Account ID and note text, what? See, I don't understand where that's coming from, but we'll follow it. Well, that's called choice. No, where's me? There it is, collection. Then add a collection. Was it item ID? Was it? Was it item ID? Item ID. Oh, account ID. Account ID. Value is a text. Add.
Populate a small range of new rows in the initial values area with values of your choosing.
Hang on a minute.
Note text.
And note text. Okay. Note text. And again, that's a text. Initial values. Reset initial values where when this page runs. Hide the page process. Single row. What's a single row? Oh, okay. Account ID 001. Note text. I don't know what she's going to put for note text. So let's go back to that, shall we?
Populate a small range of new rows in the initial values area with values of your choosing.
Note.
Please note that the values within a collection stage are not expressions, so text values do not need quotation marks.
So why add that? Oh, okay. This is just is this just an example? AAA add 002 BBB add 003 CCC add. I am mimicking what they're doing or what she's doing. DDD. Oh, she clicked OK, obviously. Okay.
Add an action stage to your process diagram that uses the add to queue action from the work queue's business object.
So that's over here then. The collection's over here, so the action stage is what's doing the work. So the action stage, business objects will be work queues followed by add to queue. There we go. And then my input is going to be collections, probably. Let's see what it does.
Enter Q1 as the queue name input parameter.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Queue name is Q1. Queue name QUEUE1. And it's an expression, so let's whack in Q1.
And use your collection for the data input parameter.
Okay. So it basically, there is no defining what's what then, is there? It's basically a collection there, it goes into there. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Save and run the process. Return to control room.
Okay, so let's do that then. So that's based on, is that added to Q1 just because? So if we do a link, reset there and play. Okay. And then back to the control room, it said. Control room. I guess it's under Q1. Ah, there's the item key, look. Okay. Pending, so worked 1, pending 7. Okay, nice. I like it. So it's all about setting up the queue, isn't it? There you go, Q1.
To see Q1 populated with the new items.
Which
now,
we've done.
You'll create a circular path within the process to work all of the items within the work queue. Open the work queue item processing process.
Okay, so we need to add this. So let's save this then. Save as basic add to QUEUE Q1. Save changes. And we're going to close that now. Open up the business objects again. Go back to Studio. And then see where it says work queue processing. This is the one. So now, I think now we're going to create that loop. Which just makes logical sense. That's what you would be doing. Yeah.
Add a decision stage after the get next item action stage.
So this is where it's going to check to see if get next item is empty, basically.
And create an expression that checks whether there is a value in the item ID data item.
So item ID equals 0, I'm guessing. Oh, okay.
Ensure that the mark complete action stage is following the yes.
So what did she put there as the what piece of code did she put in there? Obviously we want to try and write our own, so decision stage.
An expression that checks whether there is a value in the item ID data item.
So item ID, so there you go. So let's leave that there. So we want a, so let's go and mimic that. So we want a item ID. Where are we? Get next item. So it's these guys here. We need to move down. Break the link from this. Yes. And then we need a decision stage. Let's bring that in there. Let's bring it back to our pinky pointer. Decision stage. Logic. Yeah, it's got to be logic, hasn't it? Logic. So what did she put? Item ID. Okay, so she's just dragged item ID is less than or greater than. Oh, it's not. It's item ID. It's blank. It's not 0. It's not less than. It's item ID is less than or greater than, and then the 2 quotes there, empty is just blank. Okay. Okay. So item ID again. That's coding, and I don't necessarily like coding. So text is item ID is less than or greater than blank. I think that's how that works. Now, if we link that in, and we link that in, so I think that's wrong. I think the we have an end stage here. So you put the end stage in there, you link the end stage there, and then I'm going to swap that. Thank you so much. Hey, Mumbai, how you doing? How you doing, Carcoda? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Thank you. Thank you for the cheeky thumbs up, sir. Hope I'm doing you proud. Welcome to me. This is just me learning as it's part of my day job. I'm just trying to learn this because I use Win Automation version 8 at the moment, and the company I work for uses Blue Prism. So this is kind of me just trying to better myself at the same time while streaming me doing it. So I think is expression, is the item ID less than or equal to blank? Yes, should go to end. No, it should then just continue down the path to mark as complete. And then what I think it should do, and I'm going to kind of put it in now because I think it just makes sense. Then what it should do is come up here, link that in, bosh, and bosh, and then get rid of this end here. Sweet. So what happens there is it starts, it gets the next item from the queue. It then says, is the queue blank? No. Great. Mark that as complete because it's then processed it. And then it then Foxtrot asks us back round. It gets the next item and there's your loop. I think that's generally how this is going to work. Let's go and find out. That just makes sense to me. He says. Did he break it? We're about to find out.
Ensure that the mark complete action stage is following the yes branch from the decision stage. Arrange your desktop so that you can...
The mark complete yes is that right? Because, I mean, mine's the wrong way around. So I have built it correct, but my yes is... Either I'm wrong. So let's switch that back round because it says the yes as. See, I must be reading that. Is item date less than or greater than 0? So is item date blank? Yes. That would go to end to me. No. So I'm going to change that decision. I'm going to change that to is item data blank. Just because that's what it's doing and I want to put that. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is as it is. That's what it's telling me to do. So, of course, we will follow the...
See both Process Studio
we will follow the tutorial.
and
My
the work queue
significant other just brought some food, so my humble apologies. I shall be eating.
Run the process. occasionally pausing it and refreshing the work queue to see the items update to completed as the process flows around the circular path.
Okay, I will try and get that for you now. Let's see if we can get that view for you guys. So there's the blue prism. It's kind of minimise that kind of page if you like. Let me just make it slightly bigger so you guys can see. There it is. And then the queue itself. Let's kind of do that for you. Control panel queue. Followed by, okay, so let's refresh this and run this. Yeah, there you go. I mean, so he's doing what it says on the tin. Okay. I was wrong. Massively wrong. You would work it out though, wouldn't you? You generally would get it right. You can see the item ID here. So that to me is, it's almost like, does the item ID have a value? Yes. That's kind of what, yeah. Does the item ID have a value? Yes. Continue. No, as it's blank. Go that way. Okay. So, useful. Right, let's put everything back to where we were, because that's the way we roll. Let me put it back to you guys. Just to try and make it easy for you guys to see what's going on in the old world. Where is the... Right, let's click play on that. Yeah. Perfect.
Then on to the end stage, once all items have been worked.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. So now we have a functioning queue. Okay. So now we have a functioning queue. So I'm going to save this as a working QUEUE1, because that is working Q1 at the moment, don't forget, because it's getting the item ID from Q1. That's just dumping into there and into there, so I don't think there's any reference to Q1 there, and I don't think there is. So is item data blank? That's just reading from the item data over here. So mark as complete, this has got to have a function back to item ID. So the item ID then has, yeah, so it's just mark as complete. Where's this mark as complete from? Item IDs, item ID, outputs, conditions. Mark item is complete, you see, that's running, so that it must run, it must retain Q1 here. So if you change that to Q2, would that just function as a new queue? I don't know is the honest answer, I couldn't tell you. Working QUEUE1, save and change. I'm going to leave that open. Let's see what the next one is. Nice. Video on. Actually, let me just go and grab a quick drink. Uno momento.
Work queues are created and configured in the workflow area of System Manager. This is where work queues can be provided with a name and a key name. The key name directly correlates to a column name in the collection stage that is used within a process to add new items to a work queue. The column name for each new item will appear in the item key column. In the queue management area of Control Room, sensitive data such as account numbers or policy numbers must not be stored in the item key column, as this is an identifier that is visible throughout Blue Prism. From the workflow area, it is also possible to check the status of a work queue, to set the number of retry attempts for items within the work queue, and to find references to the process interacting with a particular work queue. The encrypted option is available to ensure any sensitive data held within the work queue is also encrypted within the Blue Prism database. In this next activity, you will create and configure a new work queue and amend the work queue item processing process to work the items in the queue. Finally, you will learn how to update a field within a collection stage using a calculation stage so that a narrative of information is created as your process carries out its work, which will then be saved to the work queue. For this activity, you will be working in the System Manager, Control Room, and Process Studio areas of Blue Prism. First, you will configure a new work queue. Navigate to the Workflow, Work Queues area in System Manager. Create a new work queue and provide the key name Staff ID. Check that your new work queue is accessible in Control Room. Now, you will modify the work queue item generation process so that it can populate the new work queue with 5 items. Open work queue item generation remove all existing fields from the collection. And then add the following fields. Take care to spell staff ID exactly as you did for the key name in System Manager. Add 5 items to the initial values, making sure there is a variety of full-time and part-time staff. Save and run the add 5 of full-time and part-time staff. save and run the process. And check that your new work queue has been populated. Next, you will modify the work queue item and check that your new work queue has been populated. Next, you will modify the work queue item processing process to work the new items in your work queue and mark the items as either complete or as exceptions. In this activity, the exceptions will be business exceptions, as some decision logic will need to be constructed around the full-time flag value in the data collection, with full-time being marked as complete and part-time being marked as exceptions. Remember to use dot notation when using collections in expressions. Save and run. Logic will need to be constructed around the full-time flag value in the In this activity, the exceptions will be business exceptions, as some decision logic will need to be constructed around the full-time flag value in the data collection, with full-time being marked as complete and part-time being marked as exceptions. Remember to use dot notation when using collections in expressions. Save and run the process. Finally, you will add a new field to your collection items, which will be used to store values as the item is being processed.
Oh, that's better. Right.
Return to the work queue item generation process.
Work queue item generation process. What are you? You are the work queue item processing. So I don't want you. I want the work queue item generation. Work queue item generation. Is that say item generation? Is that what that says? Yep.
And add a blank field to your collection with the name summary and text data type.
Name of summary and text. Okay. Add a blank one. One sec, that's me dog that wants to go out and the girls won't move. There we go. Sweet. And let's have a look. What did we say? What did he say? Put it as a. Was it text? Image binary time text.
Save and run the
Dang it, missed it.
with the name summary
There we go.
and text data type. Save and run the process to input the new items into the work queue. Now you will create.
Oh, not more logic. God dang it. Right, so that's good. So there's the summary. Let's do that. And as it says, let's reset and run that. And save. Added summary information. Bargain.
Some logic that records a time value for each item that is processed.
Okay.
In the work queue item processing,
Jesus Christ, what?
add a calculation stage and an action stage.
Hang on. That's the other thing that we've built,
that records a time value for each item that is processed. In the work queue item processing,
there's the swap over. So the work queue item processing. Yeah, you see how this has turned into a bit of a beast, hasn't it? Like, holy moly. I'm sure there's a way to actually tidy this up as well, by the way, and I don't know why I'm tidying it up, other than it's just an OCD thing, because I'm about to do something to it.
add a calculation stage and an action stage before both mark complete and mark exception stages.
Update summary field, set data. So what was that just asked me to do? Dang it.
Add a calculation stage and an action stage before both mark complete and mark exception stages.
So two calculations and set datas. So two calculations and a data stage. So two calculation stages. And so we're breaking that link there. And we're breaking that link there. Calculation stage and a data item. So I think you only need to populate the one and then we can copy the other. Is basically what that is. It's going to be the dot notation thing again, isn't it?
The calculation stage will
There you go. Update summary field. This item was processed at and now. So that is just text. Not quite sure why there's a space there, but and now. So calculation, update summary field. No, it's not. It's a capture now. Capture time. I'm going to put capture time just because if somebody else was looking at it. Capture time item was processed. Then it's, what did they put? This item has been processed at. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to put item processed. At. Close that quotation. And, where's my and button? Damn, where's my and? Now. Where's my and? And there you go. Oh, okay. Let's go. No, it's definitely not that. Item processed at. So that's just text. It is. Where's my and on my keyboard? I haven't got one, I don't think. I don't think I've got one. How do I get one? Do you know what? I might be able to. Can I just copy and paste? And on a keyboard. There it is. Where is and? Copy. Store results in. Really? You're not going to let me store one? Why? Why are you not going to let me store? I don't need you because you're doing nothing. And now that's storing in data.summary. But where is my data.summary there? Ah, I wonder if it's just a drag there. I wonder if you do that. Where's that coming from? Data. No, it's not that. Collections data dot summary. Cannot create data stage with the chosen name. Data item must not contain the full stop carrier. Data summary. There we go. Okay. So what would that give? The express, so item process, there you go. So that's the result. Okay, so that is working. Fairy schnuff. So that's fine.
Generate a time value and store it in the summary field in the collection. The
Hang on,
action stage.
Data. See, no. So that didn't work for me, I don't think.
The calculation stage.
See,
Generate
data.summary.
and store it in the summary field in the collection.
Yeah, so in the collection. So why didn't that do that for me? So if we got here, so capture here. So if we get rid of this and go to the collection, data dot summary. What? So I just did that and it says you can't do a full stop. Like, what the fudge? So now I'm going to copy that. So let me just delete that data summary there. So I can copy that, paste that into there, because that's basically the same thing. You know what I mean? So now we can link that into there and that into there, because that is the same thing. And I think this data item here is data type, is a date and time, and is coming from, it's coming from data type. So where's my input here? Initial value is can I see, how do I just drag the data drop summary now? Reset initial value, current value. Store static, store the content environment, read the corresponding environment variable from system manager session. See, how's that information being passed to there then? Because it clearly has to be. Let's see how she does it. I'm curious.
The action stage will ensure that these items.
Oh, it's an action stage. I've got data stage. Data stage, I think. Ah, yeah. That's why she's got action stages. There we go. So, I think it's work queue. Update. It's going to be perhaps it's an update. update status, outputs. Ooh, excuse me. Let's have a look.
Updates are saved back to the work queue.
Whoa, I missed that.
The action stage will ensure that these item updates are saved back to the work queue. The set
So data and item data.
data action in
Oh, it's set data, look.
the work queue's business object will save each update of the collection back to the work queue.
Set data, so update field, set data.
Business object will save.
So data and item data. See, do you know what? Let's have a look. So, don't know. So action was update the work queue, wasn't it? So it was a work queue, and then it was update status, and then it was it item ID? Yes, it was just item ID, wasn't it? Done. So if we do that, paste that, because it's it's updating the same thing. There's no point in reinventing the wheel there. Of course it does, because it uploads to the data. That's where it's going, data.summary. So that's how it knows the field that it's updating. Within the collections. God dang it. That is not necessarily clunky, but that isn't intuitive at all, I don't think.
Save each update of the collection back to the work queue.
How you doing, G? Good to see you, brother. That is clunky, man.
After running the process, these updates will be visible in the session log.
Where? Update summary field. Ah, there you go. Well, there's only one way to do it, isn't there? Let's have a look. I don't think there is. Damn, that's harsh. So let's reset that. Let's run. If you go straight to no, I'm going to be a stinker. Here we go. So let's see if it works. Internal status must be specified. So my internal is wrong. So my internal is... what did I do wrong? Clearly I've done something wrong there. Damn it! Data. Where's this data coming? Data and item. So where's the data coming from? Data and item ID. Where's the data coming from? Because that's not what we're setting. And we're definitely not setting that here. Oh, now it works. God dang it. Out of the way, Grammarly. Because that's not going to get old. The required data is text, but the data of the data is collection. Oh, is that changed up here then? Did she change that in here? She has, look. Oh, you tart. And it's there telling me as well. That's the worst thing about it. It's absolutely telling me. So hang on, I'm missing something here. I've got to be missing something
will
here.
ensure that
Hang on. Data is collection and item ID. So, oh, okay. So I think I need to add another one. Or remove my data. Ah, I don't have a data, so I need to add another one. That's why. I think that's what that's trying to tell me to do. Clearly I've got that wrong somewhere. I must have. It's not a data item, it's an action item. So it's an action item, input, so it's a work queue, update status as a text. But why? Why are you updating as a text? How do I update you as a collection? Or can I just drag and drop that? No. How you doing, G? The required data type is text, but the data of the data is collection. Yeah, I get that. But how do I swap it? Because it says text. Conditions. And data is fine. And that is data. Item data. Okay. And of course you need to be item data as well. So why are you not doing that? Current date and time is data summary. So data.summary, storing data there, dot summary. What happens if I copy that? What happens if I copy that and then bring this over to here and then see what it says here, data? What if I do that? Well, it works, but I can't. Okay, so what am I missing here? Because clearly I'm bloody missing something. Right, back to this.
that these item updates are saved back to the work queue.
So action properties is set data, work queue, set data. Oh, set data, not update data. Ah. Set data. Wrong one, my old mucker China bean. Wrong bloody one. You okay, G? Good luck for tomorrow, my brother. No, actually, it's Thursday. Good luck for Thursday. I've lost days, dude. I've lost days. Right, let's have a look. So that as collection is data and item data. Collection is data and item data. So collection, let's go back. God. Oh, hang on, she just
The
dropped.
action summary field in the collection.
Okay, we need that one. That's fine.
The action stage will ensure that these item.
So the text is item data, collection is data. So the text is item data. So the text is item data, collection is data.
Updates are saved back to the work queue. The set data action in the work queue's business object will save each update of the collection back to the work queue.
Yeah, see, that's just a real convoluted, kind of painful way. Says the item data, clearly card, works, markers complete. Hey, so we got it running. Yeah, so we got it running, but that's like damn. Whew. Damn. Blank and end. Okay, so that is, I didn't like that. Working, date, process, completed. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of that at all. So it's basically the calculation stage to capture the time that then goes over to here, sets that in the work queue on the item ID that it's functioning on, and then it marks it as complete in the item ID. I mean, that to me is kind of not basic. That's not basic RPA, that is kind of more advanced stuff, I think. I think that's developer rather than associates developer, if I'm honest.
After running the process, these updates will be visible in the session log.
So updates will be visible in the session log. So let's close this now. Save changes, updated to capture process time. Save changes and close. Into Blue Prism, into the control panel, Q2, and then view log. Did I miss something here? Work queue, updated status, decision. Ah, there you go. Last updated, completed. Yeah, not a fan of that. Mind blown. Update summary field. Did we see that? The update summary field. View log. Now let's make sure we are on Q2. Yeah, we are on Q2. Let's refresh. And view log. Well, either I missed that or Where was the update work queue? Decision go next. Item data is blank. So okay, I'm not a fan. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to item queue generation. Fine. Let's rerun that. Done. So now if I close that and go back to the control panel of Q2, I should have unprocessed stuff at the top, which we do have. So now if we go to the work queue processing and process this, oh, is that because it's still running? Decision, go next decision, but I'm still not, I'm still seeing the blank. Unless I'm missing something there. Yeah, so it's still running. Sweet. Let me just refresh that. Refresh and view log. I don't see that. Why do I not see that? Can I open this? I can open this. So that ain't doing anything, is it? Either that ain't doing anything or I've set that up wrong. Because clearly that isn't working, is it? I don't like that. Because it's worked, but it hasn't worked. In my mind, that hasn't worked.
New items can be deferred to control the day and time.
Right, stand by, because I want to do... So work queue item generation. Add to the work queue. Work queue 2. Batch size. Where did batch size come from? There you go, summary text, full time. Summary is a text field. So we have that on there. Data is collection 1, stored in Q2, defer time, so it's nothing there, that's fine. So that's fine, and that shows the summary on the collection. So if we refresh that and play that, and close that. So that's the work queue. So if we go to the control to the queue, and we have a look on this, so view log, start and end. Time worked, exception, reason. Yeah. So work queue item processing, which goes over to here. So this goes, the item processed is now. So the item is processed now, which gives us a date and time. So view the expression gives us a date and time as a text. That text is passed back into data.summary, which brings it back up to here into data.summary. So this then sets item is item ID and the collection is data. See, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this data.summary here, right? I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to take this, and you see what it says here? I'm going to paste that. Now I'm going to play that and then see what happens. Because I wonder if that'll throw me an exception. Collection name must have around it. Let's try that. You must provide a collection to set to the item. Which I did. So data C dot SUMMAOI. That to me is the biscuits there. You know what I mean? Same there. So if I get rid of that and bring in the data and then put dot summary. I'm just trying something here. I mean, if it works, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine. But it doesn't seem to be updating to me. No, okay, so that just doesn't want to play then. Okay, that's fine. So that's data, and that is data. Yes, okay, that's fine. I'm still not convinced that that's working like it's supposed to be doing now. At all, actually. Unless, of course, I'm just missing. Unless, of course, I've just got it wrong. In which case, I mean, that's not too bad. So 12 running, referred, total 25. So that's Q1, that's Q2. Let's just refresh that. Select all. Can we clear this now? Delete work cases. There we go. Right, so let's go. So that's a fresh work queue now from work queue 2. Close, testing. Save and close. And studio work queue generation, please. Play. Done. To work queue processing. Run. Over to control, work queue. Yeah, so this is working through it, okay. And it does show, see, it shows a completed on here. Which I don't know whether that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's not what I saw on that log. So there's an exception there, which is good because there's the exception region, which is part-time. So we know that is fine. So that's working as it should do. Then the last one. Off she goes. Blank, so she'll come across to the end now. And she's completed. So now she's completed. Let's refresh. View log. Let's blow that up. Start, go next. Is item blank? Decision is true, go next. Item data is blank, go next. Item data decision, go next. That's not what I got. That's not what she got.
Time on which they are worked. If a deferral date
Right. I might need to rewatch that one back or
new
redo that one.
items can be deferred to control the day and time on which they are worked.
So a schedule.
If a deferral date is specified when the items are created, then the work queue will hold onto the items until that date, effectively freezing them. So when a process that is working a work queue fails to retrieve any more items, it does not necessarily mean that there are no unworked items in the queue, as it could be the case that there are deferred items that are being held until a specified date. Defer can also be used to release an item being worked by a process back to the work queue, without the requirement for the item to be assigned as either complete or as exception. This feature is useful for part working an item and then freezing it for later. For example, if a process is only able to complete half of its work on one day, then it can resume the other half on the next day.
Deal, that's clever.
In this next activity, you will set up a defer until parameter in the add to queue action, so that the items added to the queue won't be released to a process until the specified date and time.
Nice.
You will then learn how to change an item's deferral date in Control Room to manually override a defer date. Finally, you will learn how to defer an item being worked by a process by using an action stage within your process to return the item to the queue before completion, which can then be resumed at a later date. For this activity, you'll be working in Process Studio and Control Room. First, you will set up a defer until parameter in the add to queue action. Open the work queue item generation.
Work queue item generation.
Process.
Yep. This is
and
a small
open
baby.
the add to queue action properties. Notice the defer until row in the inputs area,
Nice.
which is a date time data type. This is where you can configure a defer parameter. In this example,
What?
the item has been deferred until 5 minutes in the future.
Because that's basic RPA knowledge that you would know that is today and basically today and local time plus make time span 5 minutes. Who writes that code? Who as a junior developer, someone learning Brew Prism on a foundation knowledge knows that? Do you know what I mean? Who?
Return to work queue item processing. And run the process.
Oh, so it actually wants me to do that. Oh. Oh, okay. Today, local time, 5 minutes. What the? I mean, come on, man. That's pretty bad. Today, local time. No. Today, local time. Make time span. Make time span today, local time. Minutes and seconds. So 5, 0. Could not convert a 0 into a number. So fine. If I just go that, validate. Following expression is going data. Items must be between. Okay, right. So let's get rid of that. Let's try and use this function here. So it's definitely a time span. Make time span hours, minutes and seconds. Get a time span mode from given hours, days, e.g. make time span. So days. What's this asking me for here? No, hang on. Date. Make time span. The number of days, 0. Hours, 5. Paste. Make time span 0 hours, 5 minutes. Validate. The following. See, what's that about? Do you know what I mean? Am I missing something here? Right, let's blow this up. Ah, there you go. Days 0, hours 0, minutes 5, seconds 0. There we go. Now let's get rid of that. Now let's paste that. Validate. So that's how you do that. So yeah, they've done get date and done this and 5 minutes into the future. So they've done a get date and something else, and so I'm guessing you can do all that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to add it 5 minutes in the future. That's what I'm doing. So tough. Paste. Did that not work? Make time span. See again up here, let's get rid of all this. 0 days, 0 hours, 5 minutes, and 0 seconds. Paste. There you go. Validate. Hey, expression is a result of whatever. Fine, I'm going to click OK on that. Done. And done. Fine. And then let's refresh that and play that. Unexpected error, cannot get value as UTC time when type is time span. So that's the get time span, isn't it? So back into here, and where is time? Is it now? Now. Make time span 5 minutes. Can we validate that? The following errors occurred. Your expression did not appear to be valid. Unexpected something in... Shall we search? Let's see if we can search the code to copy and paste, right? Because this is what you would do in real life. So you'd come across to kind of Google here and go system date 5 minutes in future. Incrementing current date by 5 minutes. How to add 5 minutes into date in JavaScript. Use the get minutes method and the minutes in specific date. There you go. How to add 5 minutes into date in JavaScript now. There you go. How to add 5 minutes current date and time. Whatever to that. So that's kind of set date, hour, minutes and time. So that's kind of how I would do it. But let's search blue Prism. 5 minutes into future. Defer the time miscalculations. How many times session in Blue Prism? How to add time in Blue Prism. Use format date time expression in format date and use the now expression instead of today. So there you go. Adding a time span. What are the benefits? Yada yada. Schedule processes background every 30 seconds. How to find and calculate futures in Blue Prism. So this is kind of where I would be searching, you know what I mean? So add end dates here, get date, look, so get date is there. But again, you know, that is, if you look at this here, today, and local time, and make time span. I mean, who does that? And I don't have an and on my keyboard either. That's the worst thing. I've got a star. I don't know where my and is on my down keyboard, which is driving me insane, by the way. So if anybody knows where my and is, great. Because I don't. Is there a way I can copy and paste this activity sheet? No, because it's just a video rather than. Is there a PDF? I think there is a PDF. Working instructions. PDF. Can I get it from the PDF? He says. No. Queue items, PDF, deferring. You go, deferring items. Can I get it in there? No. So I've got to physically type that. Come on, man. Oh, I just closed my course as well now. I have. I've just closed my darn course. No. Come on, man. That's irritating. The Prism Foundation. Content. Where are we? Work queues. Deferring items. See, I'm tempted at this point just to pass it because I don't like that at all.
Has been deferred until 5 minutes in the future.
Right, let's watch and see if we need to do this. If we don't need to do this, I'm not going to do it because that to me, you shouldn't be doing that at this level. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. And I'm not fussy about staring at a queue and whether it's going to be something in the future in 5 minutes. If you've got to glue together 3 times expressions to set a date and time, then it's kind of it's not basic knowledge. I'm sorry, it isn't.
Now you will manually override the deferred date set in your process via control room.
Okay.
In the queue management area of Control Room, select one of the deferred items in the work queue. You can identify items that have been deferred, as deferred items will have a date value in the next review column. Right-click and select Change Deferral Date. Then change it to a few seconds in the future.
Hey, Dean Robin, good to see you, dude.
Finally, you will configure your process to defer an item whilst it is being worked. In the work queue item processing, change the Mark Complete action to defer. Enter an expression for the until input parameter, similar to the expression you set in the Add to Queue action previously. Now, step through the process to observe how an item
So
is
I'm not going to do
retrieved
that.
and
I just think that's far too
worked
advanced for a
before being
foundation course.
returned to
A
the
foundation
worksheet
course is for
in
basic knowledge.
complete
You shouldn't be
after
gluing
being
together
deferred.
date, times, and 5 minutes into the future. So get date, get time, and then defer by 5 minutes. You shouldn't be doing that at this level. No. Ain't happening.
Once you are happy with how the defer parameter works, remove the defer parameters and return your processes to how they.
So there you go. So all that for kind of nothing. So let's get rid of that. See you later. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Deferral there, please. Bar Sharpie days done. And work queue is fine. Yeah, okay, so that's just fine. Madness. Absolute madness. Done. So at least that's fine. And I'm okay with that. And discard any changes.
They were before these changes were made.
Done. Not impressed with that. Nope. Hell no. Let's have a look. Exception item retries.
When an item is being worked, exception retries can occur within a process or a business object using retry logic within recovery mode. Retrying simply means recovering an exception and then steering the flow back into the main part of the diagram in the hope that the problem will be alleviated by another attempt.
That's rare. That's really rare.
However, a blue Prism work queue can also be set up to enable exception items to be retried, meaning the whole item is reworked by the process as if it were a new pending item.
Okay.
Attempts only apply to exceptions. Items marked as complete cannot be reworked. The max attempts field in the work queue configuration section of System Manager is set to 1 by default, but this can be set to a higher value if necessary. When max attempts is greater than 1, the work queue will revive any exception items by creating a clone of the item and injecting it into the queue at the same position as the original.
Okay.
In this next activity, you will take a closer look at how exception item retries operate within a work queue. You will then learn about the retry and keep locked input parameters to provide greater control over exception item retries. For this activity, you'll be working in the control room and system manager areas of Blue Prism. Currently, the work queue item processing process should be set up to differentiate between full-time and part-time staff by marking part-time outcomes as exception items in the work queue.
Yep.
In practice, this would be an intentional business exception
Yeah.
that would not require another attempt.
Nope.
However, in this activity, it will be used to demonstrate how exception item retries work. First, set up the work queue so that it reworks an exception item up to 2 times. In the workflow area of System Manager, increase the max attempts value for Q2 to 2 and click Apply.
Right, fair enough. Where are we? System, the queue, work queues, Q2, set that to 2 and apply.
Next, create and run a session for work queue item generation to load the work queue.
Right, let's load the work queue. Bish Bash Bash Studio, work queue item generation, and we can just run that. That's fine. Bish Bash Bosh. That gives us a work queue that has data in it to be processed. We've got quite a bit there actually, so that's fine for that to tinker through.
With items.
Yep. Well, that's
Then,
cheeky. Oh, that's bloody cheeky. She's ran that from the control room. Oh, you cheeky mare. No, that's damn. She ran that. See how she ran that from here? Ah, that's naughty, that. That's proper naughty, that. Cheeky bloody mare. There's no point on this course, as this says, process or publish. None. Published. That's okay. Cheeky mare. So now if we go to the control room now, look, you see how we've got the work queues here, look. So what she does is, see how the work queue item generation, she just drags that into the RPA there, look. And then starts the selected session. There you go, so there's the third one. So if we go back to the main control, I think it's main control room or session overview. Yeah, if we go to session overview, see how the work queue processing now, look. So if we go over to here now and click start, let's see what it does. And if we go to Q2 here, yeah, there you go. Damn. Cheeky mare.
Create and run a session for work queue item processing to work the items. You will have to publish your processes before you can use them in control room.
Yeah, you think?
Once the sessions are complete,
Damn.
refresh control room. Notice that for all the exception items, there are duplicates.
Let's have a look. Do we have a duplication? I don't think we do actually, because we've... oh, we have, yeah. Ah, we do. We do have duplications.
This is because the exception items were retried twice. The work queue sees that item 2 has attempts remaining and inserts a new cloned item into the queue
that's cheeky.
before item 3. This cloned item will be the next available item and not item 3. Item 2 is worked again and marked as an exception for a second time. The queue sees that no more attempts are allowed to work item 2 and does not create a new item. The process then moves on to the next item in the queue.
Clever.
Next, you'll use the retry and keep locked input parameters to provide greater control over exception item retries. Open the work queue item processing process.
Work queue item processing. Here we go. Studio work queue item processing. Here we go. Yeah.
And look at the mark exception action properties. Notice two flag input parameters called retry and keep locked. When retry is true, the queue will generate another attempt if the limit of max attempts has not been reached. When retry is false, it will override max attempts and prevent any further attempts, regardless of the number of attempts available. When keep locked is true, the new cloned item will instantly lock. The process will have control of this new item and can continue working. When keep locked is false, any new item that is created is freely available for any Blue Prism process working from the same queue to pick up as the next item.
Well, isn't that just dandy? I like that though. It's very good. Okay. Oh. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. We are donezo, baby. We are donezo, donezo, donezo. So additional features will be for the next one, I think. Let's call that there. So I like the work queues. I like probably the first 9 to 10 sections of that. After that, I'm just not a fan. Work queue update, so I'm not a fan of this either. So the capture date and time stuff, I'm not necessarily a fan of. I'm always tempted to kind of remove that and just say, because, you know, what's the point? It's captured anyway. So why do I necessarily need that? And it's not functioning for me or working anyway, I don't think. But it is as it is. Right, I can close that because we didn't make any changes. So right, boys and girls, thank you guys so much for joining me there. It is truly greatly appreciated. As always, this has been Blue Prism section 9, I believe it is, which is work queues. Very useful, very powerful. Certainly I like creating the queues and kind of juicing that stuff up, and it's absolutely, you need that for the consolidation stage. We've got additional features that we need to do, which is only 2 videos, which I think is kind of release manager and stuff like that. And then after that, we're not far off completed the course in respects of the consolidation exercise is basically everything we've learned there, which we put into practice. and then the training next steps. But what I might do is have a look at that and then see how that goes. So look forward to the next one. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. And that was section 9, Blue Prism. Work cues.